Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Talk with Antonio. I am your host Antonio. As you may have noticed that I did not put the usual clapping sound like I always do when I start my podcast. No, because this time around I'm going to be talking about a very, very serious issue. It involves an actor who is no longer with us. Today I will be talking about this past Sunday on November 19th, 2023 was the 1 year anniversary of the death of Jason David Frank, better known as Tommy, who played in Power Rangers. Man, can y'all believe that? It's been 1 year already? Man, how time flies so fast, people. I remember it so vividly when I heard about that he passed away, but it was just a rumor, nothing else. But then when they confirmed that he really did die at the age of 49, I was like, what the fuck? I never never expected that. Little did we know, a lot of things have transpired later on when, like, a lot of things were revealed with the death of Jason David Frank. But let's start off how he started his career and everything. First, he was born Jason David Frank in Covina, California on September 4th, 1973. He had an older brother named Eric Frank who appeared with him in Power Rangers as Tommy Oliver's long-lost brother, David Trueheart. As I see his career, I remember, yes, I am guilty as charged. When I was a kid, I did watch Power Rangers. I didn't really keep up with the later franchise because I stopped watching it. Like I said, guilty as charged. I stopped watching it after, I think it was Zeo, when he returned as the Red Ranger. He still continued as a Red Ranger in, I believe it was Power Rangers Turbo. But after that, I just quit watching it, because I was a fan of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But after that, I didn't really keep up. All I did know is that he was still going to conventions, meeting fans and everything. And I read a lot of stories, seen a lot of videos how he was with the fans. And you know what? Judging his demeanor, his attitude with the fans, he was a very kind man. He was a very kind man. He really took his time to talk to the fans and then how their fans will talk to him and they say how much of a huge inspiration he was to them and everything. He really listened to all the words that fans say. And that's something that you don't really hear with a lot of celebrities in this day and age, because some celebrities that I've encountered have been dicks. You know, I would say that when I was growing up and I watched the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I was a fan of the Red Ranger, the original leader, Jason Lee Scott. That's what, if I do remember. I'm not sure, but all I know is he was named Jason, and he was the original leader. Then all of a sudden the Green Ranger appeared. And I do remember just watching the episodes of how it's unbelievable. Even before internet existed, there was, like, you can tell that they're just by their body language that they didn't really get along. And come to find out, through the magic of the internet and YouTube, Jason David Frank and Austin St. John did not get along at all. And I believe it was somebody who did an interview, and they say that they were trying to be like the best. I guess Austin's didn't really like that. There was another guy who's becoming another alpha male trying to take his place. That's what the guy said in an interview. I forgot where it was. But growing up, yeah, I do remember when he debuted as Tommy Oliver in Green with Evil. Man, I remember watching it, it was 5 parts. Usually when there was like a continuation of an episode, it was always part 1, part 2, and part 3. But part 5, to me, that was fucking long. Extremely fucking long. But I just found out something, which I'm really speechless about. If anyone remembers the series along with Power Rangers that came out, was a series called VR Troopers. I thought that one was super cool. That series was very, very underrated. I read that Frank was supposed to be the lead character, Adam Steele, in VR Troopers, and shot a pilot episode before being called back to Power Rangers. It says here that according to Frank and Brad Hawkins' character was originally going to replace Tommy Oliver as the White Ranger in Power Rangers. However, though, due to Tommy Oliver's popularity with Power Rangers fans, Frank was brought back, with Tommy Oliver becoming the White Ranger. Hawkins would then take over the role of Ryan Steele on VR Troopers, who was originally named Adam Steele. Yeah, I do remember when the Green Ranger's powers disappeared, Tommy became the White Ranger. And Jason Frank really played the well of the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, and then it says here that he transitioned, like I said, into the Red Ranger in Power Ranger Zeo. And yeah, and he even went out, like I said, I stopped watching after Zeo. And he became the leader again in the Red Ranger of Power Rangers Turbo. But it says here that the following year in Power Rangers Turbo, his character became the first Red Turbo Ranger. During mid-season, Frank and his fellow cast members Johnny Young Bosch, Nakia Burrise, and Catherine Sutherland agreed to leave and were replaced. But you know what? I do remember years ago when I used to live in my old apartments on Magnolia Boulevard in Valley Village. In apartment 116, there was a lead artist that went by the name of Jeff West, and he used to work in the series Power Rangers. And he told me that they got fired. Jason Frank, Johnny Young Bosch, Nakia Burmise, and Catherine Sutherland. But I do remember hearing the story that Austin St. John, who found out that there would be him, Walter Jones, the late Thuy Trang, and other ones, I forget who were not being paid accordingly. They went to the higher ups, say, "Hey man, we want some more money." They got fired in return, and they got replaced. But yeah, it says here that. But I do remember that Jason Frank did return for the Forever Red episode in the series Power Rangers Wild Force. Him as the Red Zeo Ranger. Of course, Jason returned as the Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. That episode is considered one of the greatest episodes of all time. I did watch that episode because I wanted to see the original Red Ranger. But yeah, it says here that he did return for Power Rangers as the Red Ranger. And it says here that he reprised his role again as Tommy Oliver and the Green Ranger in the season finale of Power Rangers Super Mega Force. It says here that he expressed in developing a Green Ranger solo series or a feature film after an encounter with Stan Lee at a comic book convention. It says here. But he says that in August 2022, a couple of months before his death, Frank revealed that he had retired from the franchise. And also I do remember seeing that he was also a mixed martial artist. It says here that he by knockout 0 losses, by submission 1, 0 losses by decision, 0 wins, 0 losses. He won against Roberto Vasquez and on August 4th, 2010 in round 1 and 46 seconds. And amateur, he beat Jonathan Mack. Second fight, he beat Chris Rose. The third, he beat James Willis. And the fourth, he beat Carlos Horn. And I'm actually impressed. He actually had his rank was 8th, Dan black belt in Shotan Karate, black belt in Wado Ryu Karate, black belt in Taekwondo, black belt in Judo, purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Asian degree Muay Thai. Wow, man, I'll give him credit. I was very impressed. I'm very impressed. He was actually a pretty good fighter, but I saw a video on YouTube of him trying to confront Jean-Claude Van Damme. He really wanted to fight Van Damme, and Van Damme was like, he really wanted to beat his ass, but nothing happened. It was just like it was just talking and talking, but very aggressively. Look it up on YouTube. I'm not lying. But and also in movies, he also he played the role of the White Ranger in the movie Power Rangers that came out in 1995. And he came out in Power Rangers Zero, VR Troopers, Sweet Valley High, Family Matters, Power Rangers Turbo, Undressed, Power Rangers Wild Force, Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Revisioned, Power Rangers Super Mega Force, My Morphin Life, Transformers Time Return, Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe, Power Rangers Hyperforce, Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, and We Bare Bears. In film, like I said, he appeared in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, Paris, the Junior Defenders, Fall Guy, the Jon Stewart story, The Blue Sun, Cram 2, Ho Ching, One Warrior, Power Rangers in the 2017 version, Power Rangers Legacy Wars Street Fighter Showdown, Making Fun, The Story of Funko, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always, Legend of the White Dragon, Underdogs Rising, it says here, to be announced. In video games, he came out obviously in Power Rangers the movie, Piper, Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, Power Rangers Legacy Wars. And man, he had a pretty big track record, if you ask me. But lo and behold, I know a lot of people say that he had all this fame, he had all this money, but they're saying that he was not happy at all. He was an empty person. And it says here that he began attending a Christian church after the death of his brother Eric. It says here that in 2017, he was targeted by a man named Matthew Sterling while attending Phoenix Comic-Con. And it says here that he married, forget about that. It says here that he began attending a Christian church after the death of his brother Eric. He married his first wife, Shauna, in 1994, and they had 3 children before divorcing in 2001. In 2003, he married his second wife, Tammy, and they had 1 daughter. It says here that in 2022, Tammy filed for divorce, though she and Frank were attempting to reconcile. But as I said before, ladies and gentlemen, all right, this is something that talks about like a very, very serious subject. When it comes to men and mental health, that is something that now it's more of how it's more like we can talk about it. Men can talk about it. But back then, it was not really like something that you can really express. And I won't talk about much about this, but I will talk about more on this very serious topic of men and mental health and suicide. But I will just talk about like what happened right now to Jason David Frank. But I will say this, that back then, men were not You know, right now there is still a stigma, people, in regards to men, depression, and mental health, because I don't know like how it is with other races, but I've noticed that specifically with Latino, Hispanic Americans, you can't really talk about that, because if a guy says that I have depression, I have mental health, what's the one thing they say? That you're a man, suck it up. Men are not supposed to cry. Grow up. And it's like, and also I read that if someone in the Latino, Hispanic American community talks about like going to therapy or counseling, they immediately will say that you're crazy. And that to me is one of the most ignorant fucking thing you could ever talk about. That to me is so narrow-minded. When you say about, oh, I'm not crazy. No, it's not. It's help, people. And like I said, sorry if I'm getting off topic here, but it has to do with mental health and men. And as I was saying, I never thought that Jason Frank was suffering from mental health and depression. And I've seen some videos here that that talk about that shit, you know? And this is something that Jason Frank released here. It says here, this one came out like, let me see. I don't know what year was this released, but this is something that Jason Frank talks about. It says, Jason Frank on depression and suicide. Listen to this, people. This is in March of 2021.
How did I overcome depression, Peter? Don't. It's a constant battle, dude. People that go to church here and there, I remember my life changed. I'm not getting religious. I don't really care. It's relationships to whatever you have relationships to, whatever your outlet is. I just know one thing. It was like, are you a fighter? I was like, yeah, I'm a fighter. Do you fight the devil? Yeah, all the time. They said, well, people come to church one time, oh, praise God, pray, and they leave. That's why I don't talk about it. Because everyone looks and is like, hypocrite. It's like, you know what you got to do is you got to consistently fight the devil 24/7. 24/7. You got to fight your depression 24/7. And I had someone tell me once, not long ago, that kind of changed my life. Everyone can tell me everything. But I had one particular guy, this is a tough guy, tell me straight out, I will hate you if anything ever happens to you. I will frickin', he didn't use the word frickin', hate you. As a celebrity, you have an obligation to people, to your fans, and to your family. And I've lost my brother. I've lost a lot of people with unanswered questions. And I realized why I listened to this particular individual. It's because he told me just straight out, and things click. So sometimes people always tell you, do this, do that, do this, so you constantly fight your depression. But after that day, I was like, yeah, something I'm going to share to you. I will hate you. Yeah, I don't say the word hate, ever. I will hate you if something happens to you. I used to think was for tough people. Like, brother was tough, other people's tough, it's hard, I've lost a lot of people. It's tough. They're tough. It's really being a coward, man. I hate saying that, and I hate admitting it, but it really is. It's just, it's cowardly to leave people behind and wonder. And when these celebrities kill themselves, do you realize how many fans are hurt and how many fans are killing themselves because that particular actor killed himself? So I'm talking about depression, I'm talking about anxiety, I'm talking about ADD, I'm talking about everything people don't talk about. That's what's going on right now. It's like this, that, the protest, like, I get it. Mental health is at an all-time high. So the answer to your question is consistently fight it, fight it, fight it.
Okay, those were the words of Jason David Frank, people. That individual who said that to him, I will hate you, something happens to you, I do not agree with that at all. I always say this. People who say that it's a selfish act, it's a cowardly act, what the fuck do they know? They don't know a damn thing of what that person is going through in their mind. They're suffering. And that people that do say, well, I will fucking hate you. Because he tries not to curse. I'm just going to say it. He said that I will fucking hate you if something happens to you. I do not agree with that. I would like for that person who said that to Jason Frank to put yourself in Jason's place. Put yourself in his shoes. That really, whenever I hear stuff like that coming from people, I fucking hate that. The people say it's a cowardly thing, it's a selfish thing. They don't know. They don't know what the fuck they're going through. And I heard about, I always hear this a lot. And this is something right here that I also found. This is a video from, it's called Therapist Reacts Raw Listening to Strangers' Real Voicemails About Suicide. And there's a video here that's on YouTube. It says, Listening to Strangers' Real Voicemails About Suicide, Seeking Secrets by Jubilee. And this is the therapist that he's going to hear about a phone call about I believe he said, he talks about his 15-year-old brother who killed himself. And you'll hear the therapist's reaction in regards to, how the guy says that it's a selfish act? And I do not agree with it. And this is what the therapist say.
My 15-year-old brother took his own life 3 years ago. Every day I struggle with forgiving him because it seemed like a very selfish and weak thing to do.
It's not weakness. Anyone who's ever taken their life held on as long as they felt like they could. Most people are fighting battles we know nothing about or we only see the surface of. When they finally succumb, it's not weakness, it's not selfishness. Oftentimes, the pain is so great that they want the release. And in order to give themselves that release, they have to believe that everyone else is going to be okay. And the truth is that they won't. Everyone else won't be okay. They want you to stay. It's a complex issue. It is. There are different sides of it. The side of the person who wants to end it all and the side of the people who want them to stay. But one thing that I can say definitively is it's not weakness and it's not selfishness. People who get to that point, the rest of us don't comprehend it. And I certainly never even came close until I was, again, in my late 30s when I had a night when I wanted to die. And that night changed a lot of things for me in terms of the compassion and non-judgment with which I approach people who are going through this.
And this is from a therapist who said that. It's not selfishness at all. And when it comes to stuff like that, it's because I get angry because it's something that I go through also. I also go through struggles of mental health and depression and all that stuff. And it's very serious. I don't even wish it upon my worst enemy. No human being deserves to go through this type of pain and suffering, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very serious issue. Men, women, child, elder, doesn't matter. No human being should go through this type of pain. And it sucks, And there's another video here of
where to start?
Hold on, people.
Look, it is.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I messed up. Let me see here. I'll put it on right here. Let me see. And you know, it sucks because when it comes to stuff like that, it's very serious. It is very, very serious. And I guess, look, it says here that on November 19th, his death, Frank was found dead by suicide in a hotel in Houston, Texas. His wife, Tammy, who was also staying at the hotel, subsequently explained that Frank had been struggling with depression and other mental health issues. And it says here that when he passed away, it was news all over. Because I remember hearing about it last year, but it wasn't really like, really, how can I say this? Nobody knew if it was real or not, because I remember hearing that he died. Some were saying of other things. I was like, no, they can't. It can't happen, you know. And then there's a video here right here of how it says here that Jason Frank talks about mental health in very. Let me see here. Very recent video before his unexpected death. And it said, look, listen to this, people. I believe this was his last video. I don't know. I could be wrong, perhaps.
So for 3 months, I was messed up. That's what you sacrifice for acting. And that's why a lot of actors die, because they don't know how to get rid of that pain, that trauma. Heath Ledger, Robert Williams, all these people, it must be their mind just doesn't stop, and it goes and goes and goes. I deal with a lot of mental problems too, but I have an outlet. I have social media, I write, I have an outlet.
That was him. He was talking about how for 3 months he was messed up. He mentioned Robin Williams, Heath Ledger. And you can tell by watching this video. It was a short video. Like, you know how YouTube has shorts? And you can see how this dude was not not in sync. He was going through a lot. And then he committed suicide at a hotel. They were saying that him and his second wife, Tammy, were trying to reconcile. But I guess they found him by hotel security. And when he passed away, when it was confirmed that he really died, it was news all over, people. It was news all over. I remember hearing like his co-stars who paid tribute to him, and let me see what I can find here. Let me see. Okay. Okay, first, Amy Jo Johnson. Oh my God. And this is for Simcast podcast. Amy Jo Johnson discussing Jason David Frank's death and legacy. And it's going to be hard, but here goes.
It's Amy Jo. I don't know, I just thought I'd come on here and just say hi. And, just thinking about Jason a lot. And I hope you guys are okay. I know how much you all meant to him. And, it's just so sad today. Just really sad.
Man.
And I know all of you are so sad. It just really stinks, right? It sucks. And, I don't know. I just thought maybe, I don't know, some of you just needed a place for a second. Just to maybe, I don't know, everybody take a moment of silence or something. And, you know, I know that you all meant so much to him. as you all know. And, yeah. Anyway. I'm thinking about all of you guys. And I'm sending you all love. And, yeah, it just really sucks. It sucks. And I hope anybody out there who's feeling depressed and sad or lost or like there's no other way, just know that there is, and please reach out for help. And it's not the way. Yeah, anyway. Okay. So, that's that. I was gonna sing. I don't know. Jason always really liked my singing, so I was gonna come on here and sing for you guys. I really miss him, and I'm gonna miss him. And today is a really hard day, and today I'm really, really sad. Anyway, this is for Jason. Yuck. Huh? That's how it all feels. Like a really big yuck. Sucks. Sucks so bad. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know if he just hopped on or whatever, but I just came on here because I was feeling really sad and really it's really hitting home today what has happened and that he's gone. And I don't know, I just thought of all of you guys because I know how much you all meant to him and how much you guys are probably in the same amount of pain and so sad. He was such a force and such a bright, crazy, wild, funny light. And I just can't even believe it. Yeah. My head hurts so bad. Yuck. Gonna miss that guy so stinking much. All of his crazy voice messages and all of his suits and his sense of humor and his positivity, and he was always just like constantly calling and texting me how proud he is of me, and I just gonna miss him a lot, as so many of you guys are too. We're all gonna miss him so much. Anyway, I'm gonna sing one more song and then I'm gonna go. And I just wanted to come on here because I know so many of you guys are just in shock and just like, as you know, upset as maybe I am as well. And I don't know, I just want to, you know, anybody who is out there who is feeling depressed and like there's no hope, just know that that's not the way, and there is help, and you do have a community here, and you know, just reach out. Reach out for help if you are feeling like that. Fucking sucks. Sorry for the swearing, but it really fucking sucks. Sorry. Anyway, I wrote this song last year. It's called The Sun Still Remains, because it does. We'll all be okay, everybody. We'll all be okay. Even Jason. He's okay.
She's really pouring out her heart in these music videos, in this music video here.
Okay. thinking of you and sending you all love. And I know how much you all meant to Jason. And it sucks. But we're all going to be okay. 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 I don't know how to turn it off. Aw, you guys are great. Okay, bye. I don't know how to turn it off. I'm gonna go. Okay. You guys go outside today, go walk in the fresh air, take a deep breath, and just, I don't know. Just try to find something funny. Okay, bye.
That was Amy Jo Johnson. Her reaction when she heard about the death of her friend Jason David Frank, and the way she was singing the songs, she really poured her heart out, and you can tell she was devastated by the death of her dear friend. And she also released, she wrote something on her Instagram that was about a year ago. It says, this is her Instagram page. She says, "Jace, you were beautiful and truly unique. My life just won't be the same without your frantic, hilarious, caring, driven, and creative ball of energy. I will always love you, dear friend. Please rest now in peace." Those are very, very, very nice words coming from Amy Jo Johnson. And as I mentioned before, another one who released a video was Austin St. John, the original Jason, the original Red Ranger. And he talks about, but he also acknowledges that him and Jason Frank were not friends, but he was paying respects nonetheless. And this is his video right here.
Hey everybody. Man, where to start? Where to start? Look, it is. It's no secret there was. There's no secret that Jason Frank and I were not beer drinking buddies, for sure. But yesterday, for those of you who may not know, Jason Frank is. He's gone. Yesterday he died. And yesterday, more important than that, a man died, a father died, a husband died, and there's no easy way to field those emotions. I lost my father in January, so I have some semblance of understanding for what his family must be going through right now. And I don't have a whole lot. I'm not going to go on and on. I just I hope he rests in peace, and my prayers and my thoughts go out to his family. And once a Ranger, always a Ranger, brother. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Much love.
And at the end of this video, there's a picture of them two, when Jason was the original Red Ranger and Tommy is the Green Ranger, just posing for a picture. And it says here that it's funny, how they can play best friends on TV, but then did not get along in real life. And also on his Instagram page, Austin St. John said this: "Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Thoughts and prayers." And I've seen a lot of comments here in this video that that Austin released after the death of Jason David Frank. One guy wrote this. His name is Dave the Third. "Respect. It takes a lot to be willing to recognize and honor the passing of someone you didn't get along with. To recognize that while the two of you didn't see eye to eye, Jason David Frank meant a lot to the fans and to the Power Rangers franchise. I wish Jason David Frank didn't end his life." It's a shame, though. It's a damn shame. And David Yost released on his Instagram page. He said this. That was about a year ago when he passed away. We must not allow the clock and the calendar to blind us to the fact that each moment of life is a miracle and a mystery. H.G. Wells. My complicated friend, you had my heart on the day one. So intelligent, so funny, so energetic, a light so bright, a force like no other. You shaped and transformed so many lives. I know you can see the truth and the glory that is you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Walter Jones, the original Black Ranger, said this on his Instagram. Can't believe it. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. My heart is so sad to have lost another member of our special family. Catherine Sutherland, the second Pink Ranger, wrote this on her Instagram page. I struggle to know what to say. You were a hero to so many and brought so many joy to so many fans all over the world. Your fans and the Power Rangers universe was everything to you. You were certainly a force to be reckoned with. You always knew how to make an entrance. I just wish this wasn't the exit. It's hard to believe that you are gone and I won't see you again in this lifetime. I pray that your soul finds peace now. Jay, our Ranger family will forever have your name etched in our hearts. Rest in love, my friend. Steve Cardenas, the second Red Ranger, wrote this on his Instagram. Words cannot describe the shock and sadness I'm feeling at this moment. Jason David Frank is and forever be an icon. He dedicated his life to the Power Rangers brand and most importantly his fans. Jason was the first person to welcome me on set in 1994 and later introduced me to social media, Comic-Cons, and event promoters all over the world so that I could reconnect with all of you as we did back then. I will forever be grateful. Everywhere he went, he gave his fans an experience that will last a lifetime. He elevated the Mighty Morphin franchise to a pop culture phenomenon. Jason David Frank was such a good soul, and my brother, both on screen and off. The Ranger Nation lost a real hero. We're all equally crushed by this devastating news. My heart goes out to Tammy, his family, and our family, to all of you. I shall forever be grateful to you, Jay. I hope you finally have the peace you long for in the end. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. Johnny Young Bosch, the second Black Ranger, Adam, took a different approach. He shared a very famous humorous video that Frank filmed as a prank. Let me see if I could put it on.
Johnny Young Bosch. That's right. JYP. Oh, I'm in the bathroom. Let's see if we can see him. Hey, Johnny! It's me, Fats! I gotta go. JDS is coming to you. Bye.
And Jason was filming Johnny Young in the bathroom taking a piss. That's actually pretty funny, you know. But Johnny Young wrote this on his Instagram. I don't want to say goodbye. I'm not ready to say goodbye. I feel grief, anger, and regret. I will miss your ridiculous energy. Rest in peace, brother. That video, that was pretty funny. I'm not going to lie to you. Karen Ashley, the second Yellow Ranger, Aisha Campbell, had this to say on her Instagram page. Jay, you finally got me to shut up. Can you imagine me, of all people, at a loss for words? LOL. I know it's unheard of. Calm down and wipe that mischievous smirk off your face. It won't last long. All I can muster up is I love you. This just doesn't seem like a big enough phrase. I promise when I get my act together, I will have a long, mushy speech that's all about you. You'll love it. Until then, I love you. I am so sad and anxiously awaiting the day we meet again. Jason Narvey, who played Skull, couldn't find the words to express his sorrow. He wrote this on his Instagram and just had a picture of Jason Frank looking out of the window. I mean, you can tell, but just by his face, he was not really in the right state of mind. And Jason Narvey wrote, "No words, just love." And then Paul Shire, who played Bulk on multiple seasons of the show, simply wrote a short message on Instagram. Rest in peace, my friend. And it's just sad that you know, me personally, I don't have any words to say about this because it's a very, very serious thing about mental health depression and all that stuff. And, you know, if Jason found peace in death, we don't know. All I can say is, like, you know, like, I have no other things to say about this, because all I can say is, even though I was more a fan of Jason, the original Red Ranger, but Tommy, though, he made a huge impact to a lot of people in this lifetime. And I know a lot of people, I seen a lot of people when we're talking about him on the first year of his, on the 1 year anniversary of his death. I saw people on Twitter writing all these like beautiful things about him, and they were saying that they couldn't believe it. It's mind blowing, and like I said before, how time flies by like that. It was just last year when he passed away. And you know, when I heard about that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I went through a very very powerful bout of depression, like right now, back in November 2021. Right now I am okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, but November 2021 is when I really hit rock bottom. Throughout the month later of December, later when I first hit that note, late November, December, the following year, January of 2022, February, March, part of April, I was a mess. But I would say, like, the worst months for me were December of 2021 and January and February of 2022, and I really had some very, very scary thoughts, you could say. It's very, very scary thoughts. And luckily, I had a very, back then, now, who was my girl, sorry, I just, it's pretty hard to talk about that, you know, but she has helped me a lot. I remember I made that very phone call where I was going through like a strong episode. And you know, when I heard about this, when Jason Frank died, look, I was doing okay. I was not going through no depression that day, but I'm not gonna lie to you, when I heard about that, when Jason David Frank died that day, like, it was really confirmed. I'm not gonna lie to you, that kind of triggered a little bit of sadness, because it was like, when it comes to mental health, it's a very serious subject for me. It's something that hits home. And as I said before, no human being deserves to go through that kind of pain and suffering. No human being. So, in conclusion, there's other, like, besides Jason Frank, who passed away, Robin Williams, I remember, like, the most famous ones, Kate Spade, Anthony Bourdain. And you know, that's another one that I never really expect to hear about when he passed away, Anthony Bourdain, that he hung himself. Because I remember when he passed away, I'll never forget it. I was at work, and then there was a breaking news on CNN saying that Anthony passed away, and then they said that he hung himself. I'm like, oh my God, really? And you know, it's funny how a lot of the comments were saying about how they will miss Jason Frank's positivity and all that energy. And you know, and I've seen, and it's kind of funny that people who are trying to be more positive and trying to spread positivity and everything, when in reality they're fighting their own demons. And it's funny that, how is it that someone who's trying to be who's positive and full of life can help other people, but they can't help themselves? And it's funny because I've helped people in my life because I have, and I can't help myself. And it's sad. And like I said before, I read the comments here. It says they're going to miss their positivity, your mischievous nature, and yet he couldn't help himself. overcome his demons. And it's sad, you know. And I have nothing else to say about this. All I can say is rest in peace, Jason David Frank. And to all people who are going through struggles with depression, and if you're ever contemplating suicide, there's always a hotline here. If you're someone who is considering suicide, please call contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Once again, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. So that's it for this week's episode. And thank you all for listening. And once again, you're not alone. Call the number. Bye.